line is buried. The free line is buried. Beautiful morning out here. I hadn't fished in a day or two. I got to fish tomorrow. Well, actually, today's Friday. I fished on Wednesday. So I wanted to get out here and look a little bit, and I'm just kind of riding and checking it out, getting close to the area that I caught fish with Lynn and Brian on Wednesday. I just had two guys. I started trying to video a little bit. Didn't get a lot of clips. I'm going to put some clips in today of them. My battery is dead and I didn't hear it beat, so I didn't get a lot of footage. But I wanted to talk about strategy a little bit. So those guys are fishermen. They like to fish a lot. They fish in the winter here on Lake Murray, and they just troll. That's what they've learned to do. They wanted to mainly they mainly troll in the upper end of the lake from Buffalo Creek area up the rivers in the wintertime. And that's kind of what they figured out for themselves, and they wanted to try to venture out, learn how to fish. Other times of year, wanted to go down the lower end of the lake. So when I picked them up Wednesday, the first question is like, are we going to fish down the lower end of the lake? And I was like, yeah, I think we're going to go down that way. There were already some fish moving up above Trier, but I felt better about going down. And they were happy about that, of course, because that's what they wanted to learn. And they, and within just a few minutes, I knew that they wanted to learn a lot about techniques that they didn't know. And I'm happy to help people. There's a lot of people that, feel like when you help them, it's gonna hinder them in the future. But I feel like really when you help people, it comes around, and I wanted to help them. And so we fished a lot of different ways in several areas, and I explained to them what I was looking for, and I just kind of come up with a strategy. We'd go back to the last place I had done well. We'll see if we find those fish. There were a lot of fish there. We caught a couple small ones early, and they just wasn't panning out. So we did a little bit of looking in that area and worked our way back up the lake a little. Turns out, as you'll see, we caught some pretty nice fish. We did okay. They were happy they got to catch some fish on top water, which I did not get on the video, on spoons, free lines, live herring, down rods with live herring. So they got to fish a lot of different ways like they wanted to fish. And, they were very happy because they got exactly what they were hoping to get is a lesson on some different areas and some different techniques to learn how to fish and a successful trip. And so this morning I'm out here just getting my strategy together for tomorrow. So it's important when you leave the dock to already have a plan. You want to have a strategy. So Wednesday when I left with Brian and Lynn, my strategy was to go back where I had caught fish last, which seemed pretty simple. But so we converse, there's quite a few fishermen here on the lake that we're friends and we get along well, and we converse a lot. The fish been moving. So, there's days where guys really struggle. Some of the best fishermen on the lake struggle. So you go in with a strategy thinking, well, I'm going back where I caught them last, knowing that may not work. And it did and didn't work. I was in the same general vicinity when we finally got on some fish that we caught. We started by going right down there. We rode around, looked till we marked a school of fish, saw a few fish breaking, set up, caught a couple small ones. Fish wouldn't really feed well first thing in the morning. We sit there about an hour, at least 45 minutes anyway, caught 2 to 3 small fish, and I knew they weren't really there to catch small fish, although we had discussed that, fishing can be really tough. I had actually tried to fish the day before. The wind was really bad. Couldn't get really where I wanted to get. So we got back down there. There were still fish there. We happened to just be watching, and we saw a few boats kind of gather in that area and stay there a while. And I told them, look, there must be some fish schooling over there. Let's just go in that area and check. And we went over in that area. Didn't infringe upon the other boats that was there. We kept our distance, but there were some fish schooling, and there were fish all around those fish schooling down deeper. So we set up right there and we caught some fish. Fished there a little while. They weren't biting the live bait real good. Really, they weren't biting anything real good. I did pull out the spook when the fish busted close enough. I casted it out there, caught one, cast it back out, and I hooked another one, let Brian reel it in. And I did not turn the camera on at that time because, well, I just forgot. That's just honest truth. So I wish I had that on video too, but that slowed up, so we moved back up the lake a couple miles and saw some fish. Couple of fish busting, slowed down, and we just rode right up on a massive school of fish that we marked. I mean, it was about 60 foot of water, and the fish were from 15 feet to the bottom. I am riding now. Actually, I'm marking some bait and quite a few fish in the bait right here. So I'll probably stop here in a minute and check this out. You probably heard me shift it out of gear. But so I'm out here just looking, just want to try to see if I can find that same school of fish in the same area, be ready for tomorrow. So that my strategy is going to be to start here, but as well as I did with them, know that I need to work my way back. So the way I started that strategy Wednesday morning is I stopped 4 places on the way down, just looked and saw if I marked some fish, marked some bait, try to get an idea of where I felt like places were to check on the way back. Didn't spend a lot of time, just long enough to see. And sure enough, when we come back to the area that one of the spots I had stopped and marked, probably the most fish I'd stopped in any one spot, that's where that school of fish was at. They were feeding on the surface, and they were feeding deep. We caught most of our bigger fish down 40 feet. We did catch a couple up on top, but we either caught them on free lines with no weight or 40 feet on down rods, which I thought was kind of odd, but that's just kind of the way it panned out. So anyway, we're gonna get out here, ride around, try to get a little video catching a couple fish if we get opportunity to, and to get us a strategy down for tomorrow. Pretty good one here. We found this big school of fish back down here where we started the other day. They were schooling up, busting pretty good. There's some pretty nice fish in it, actually. Pretty good fish right here. I do have some free lines out the back, but won't be in trouble if I hook one. Oh, I got one on just pill and drag in the back. I mean, he's just pill and drag. Oh yeah, this is a really nice fish right here on this top water. That looks like a good one on the back there. I have to get this fish in the boat. Oh man, I lost my plug. I got one on this free line right here. Good fish. Just caught a really nice fish on the top water. Plug. All right, get out of the frame to get it netted. All right, we just got one on down rod. Not a big fish, but he's okay. Decent fish. We have a lot of fish on this right now. A lot of fish piled up under it. So, it's about probably 20 inches. So, he might be 21. Maybe 21. At least 20. Oh, free line is buried. The free line is buried over there. This is a good fish right here. I mean, he buried this. Oh yeah, that's a nice fish right there. These fish come up school earlier and I threw around on them and they finally just went down and stayed down and wouldn't come up. So I just rode around until I finally marked the school of fish again. And just like I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. Threw some baits out on them, chum them up. Cut the chum up, try to keep them under the boat. Oh, still filling drag. Boat, keep getting back over. Oh, come on. Yeah, this is nice. A really nice fish right here. I broke one off on a spook earlier right beside the boat that was about 28 inches. It wasn't quite that big, but it's still a nice fish. Probably looks like a 24, 25 inch fish. Get the net, this one. Yeah, that's some really, man, there's a lot of really nice fish there. You can catch some really good ones. Really good fish, probably about a 24. All right. We've caught several really nice fish, a couple small fish. We're gonna head back in. I'm gonna stop and just look at some of the places. I feel pretty good. I have a strategy down. So the first place I stopped earlier, where I saw fish and stopped between there and where I'm at now, which is about a 2 to 3 mile stretch of water. We pulled up on this big, massive school of fish busting this morning, and I hooked that one on the spook, got him right beside the boat, and he shook, and the hook cut the line and broke it off, so I lost that fish right in the boat. I did get it to the boat, and I caught another decent fish on a free line, and also caught a good fish on a down rod, a 20, 21 inch fish, and then caught about a 24, 25 inch fish on a free line. Marked some massive schools of fish down here, so I do have a starting point. I'm going to come down here, put some lines out first thing in the morning, kind of keep my eyes open. I'll look to see I see the schools of fish first. If I don't, I mark a few fish. We'll set up and just put a few lines out and kind of watch around, give it a few minutes, see if they come to us. If not, we'll reel up, move around. It's going to be my strategy, and just work my way back toward the dock from here. If this doesn't produce enough fish in this spot, I'll go on back toward where I stopped at first thing this morning. So now I have a plan to go by, a strategy. So, and I really, this morning when I left the house, I already had the strategy. I was going to check those spots on the way down, just like I did. Come down here, see if these fish are still here, because these fish are moving every day. But there's still a lot of fish here in this general vicinity, and that's my plan. The strategy I had today: come out here, locate these fish in the same area that we've been fishing, make sure they were here, check and see if I can catch them in a variety of ways, and I did that. Check those spots on the way down here to see if there's fish. There are fish all the way down this stretch, 3 or 4 places, and we'll start here in the morning and work our way back. So that's going to be my strategy for tomorrow. Similar strategy that I had on Wednesday when I bought out Brian and Lynn. I've had a good morning this morning. Feel really good about tomorrow. Weather pattern is supposed to be the same tomorrow as today. Light wind, clear sunny skies. So I feel like we'll have a good morning tomorrow. I guess we'll find out that tomorrow. I just wanted to show you the clips of us fishing on Wednesday, a few clips of me catching some fish today, and explain to you that I don't just come out here on a whim. When I leave, I've already come up with a strategy to check certain spots, certain areas, just places that historically hold fish this time of the year. We're right here at the beginning of fall, so places that historically hold fish, or places I know there have been fish. This spot historically holds fish this time of the year, and I've been fishing the area and know that there's been a lot of fish in the area. Really, there's massive amounts of fish. There are, I don't know how many schools, but a lot of big schools of fish in about a 4-mile stretch down through here. And that's not the only fish. Lake Murray is really healthy right now. A lot of fish. There's a lot of smaller fish. So sometimes it's hard to get away from those. So there's a lot of schools of smaller fish that are in that 16 to 18 inch range, and then there's some schools that are in that 12 to 15 inch range. And but we also have a lot of fish in the 20 to 24, and then also in that 25 to 30 inch range. And right now they're just kind of all mixed together. It seems to me more of the bigger fish are down below those schools. But just have a plan when you leave home, where you're going to start by knowing where you've been catching fish, or where they are historically the time of the year you're going to be there. And if you'll come up with a strategy before you leave, so that you're not just wandering around aimlessly, it'll help you be a lot more successful in the end. We appreciate you looking at our videos. We hope we give you some helpful info. If you like what we do, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe button. Thank y'all again. We'll see you next time.